Chapter 36, Mrs. Cushell's Helpful Suggestions. Ever since the storm, Mrs. Cushell has started off each morning in class by asking if anyone has anything they'd like to share. For 15 minutes, we raise our hands and tell our classmates about things that are troubling us or things that are getting better. The Monday after Uncle Weldon and I bring Rain home, I say to my classmates, "Rain is back. We found her at Happy Tails Animal Shelter in Elmira, New York." Everyone has questions. Is she okay? Did she remember you? Was she happy to see you? How did she get all the way to Elmira? Why didn't she follow her nose back to your house? I answer the questions as well as I can. I do not mention the Hendersons or the microchip. I am privately working on my new plan. I call the Hendersons' phone number, but just like Mrs. Caparel said, all I got was a strange busy signal, so I'm not sure how to look for the Hendersons, but I know someone I can ask for advice. One morning, Uncle Weldon agrees to take me to school 10 minutes earlier than usual. I arrive before Mrs. Liebler does, and so I walk to my classroom by myself. I find Mrs. Cushell sitting at her desk. No one else is in the room. "Mrs. Cushell," I say. She jumps a little. "Rose, you're here early." I stare at her. "I have a question." Mrs. Cushell puts her pen down and looks at me very seriously. "Yes?" "How would someone who found a lost dog look for the owners of the dog?" "Well, the person could place an ad in the newspaper," Mrs. Cushell replies, "and also check the paper for ads about lost dogs. He could put up posters with a picture of the dog and information about when and where the dog was found. Also, he could call vets and shelters and put up posts on the web sites for lost pets." I say. Mrs. Cushell frowns at me. "Did you find a lost dog, Rose?" I nod my head. "Yes."